Alright, so I've got the fun job of finding out what's going on with these barramundi. So the thermometer is saying 23 degrees. It is winter here in Sydney, and it is daytime, which means it's probably colder than that at night. And then the temperature on the heater was set for 26. Let's see what this one... So there seems to be enough heaters in this tank. Let's see what this one's set at. So both heaters are set for 26 degrees. That one feels warm, that one doesn't. Now this little dot in the center means that the water is acid. These are alkaline water fish. They cannot go in acid water. So we need to bring that pH up. We really want it to be sort of reddish. So we want it here, we don't want it down there. And that's why we're seeing problems with the fish. We're also going to raise the GH, add quite a fair bit of salt because these are brackish water fish. What really concerns me is that the inlet pipe of this aquarium, it looks very blocked up. The filter's quite good. I'll give that a clean now. But we need to keep these inlet pipes very clean. Otherwise it does impede the water going into the filter. Now I just did a gravel clean and the gravel was very dirty, but there was a lot of really manky stuff in there, like they've been fed something unusual. So I'll need to look into what these fish have been fed, because there's like an organic sludge in the gravel, which would definitely be polluting the water. So I think food is definitely an option, a bit of a problem. Whatever's been fed recently, and they're due for a feed, they're not overly fat. And what's a little bit unfortunate, I think one of the fish jumped out. It was probably a bit big for the tank anyway. Each time you're cleaning out your filter, I really encourage you to pull out the impeller and give it a good clean. This one's quite dirty, because if there's a lot of dirt in the impeller, then that will stop how well the magnet will work. You also want to clean out inside here, because it's actually quite dirty. We're also going to put a turbo in the filter by adding some polyfilter. And what that'll do is adsorb and absorb anything impure out of the water and help to polish this. What's happened here, this heater failed. The temperature has gone right down. In the meantime, a new heater has been placed in there, and the temperature has started to return. At the moment, that heater is set for about 25, 26 degrees, and the temperature right now is still a little bit cooler than that. So that would be coming up quite well, and we need to keep an eye on this pH, because during this process, the pH has fallen. The filter has been cleaned in tank water, and polyfilter has been added. I'll keep gravel cleaning now. Here is the heater failed, and the tank got very cold. Since then, a new heater has been added, and during this period, fish have gone off their food. There's some manky looking prawn in the back of the tank that I've been removing, and the pH has dropped right down. So we need to get the pH fixed. The temperature is getting fixed. And now, once you fix the problem, it's a matter of the immune system of the fish slowly improving. So right now, these fish have very compromised immune systems. Now, normally, when you stabilize the situation, it will take weeks for the immune system to come back. But we can artificially stimulate the immune system using Vogel. So I'm going to dose the tank with Vogel now, hoping to improve the immune system of the fish. Improving the immune system of the fish would be the single most important thing as far as getting the fish well protected. There's a fairly high amount of salt in here, so that's going to help the immune system of the fish as well. And the next thing we need to do is just keep an eye out for secondary infection. Because the fish have been sick and their immune system has been compromised, then they can end up getting diseases like white spot. We can see a bit of a fungal infection, which I think is going to clear up pretty quickly. But if that gets worse, we could consider something like Malafix. But the main thing I want to be watching for is itching and scratching. We don't want them to get a parasitic infection. If they get a parasitic infection, you need to treat it with a white spot cure straight away. A white spot cure is very efficient and effective. It will work very quickly, but you do need to remove the polyfilter from the filter or any activated carbon, which this filter doesn't currently have. So these fish need a lot of attention right now, but providing their immune system comes back, then we should be in business. Now, if you have one fish in this hand that weigh 1 kilogram, and you have 20 fish in that hand that collectively weigh 1 kilogram, supposedly they're 20, the one kilogram fish produces 20 times the load of the 20 small ones. And that's because small fish are much more efficient with their nutrients and their gases and all the rest of it. So if you have 4 big fish in the tank, as the fish grow and as the fish grow and as the fish grow, they produce disproportionately more waste, and you'll find that the tank gets harder and harder to look after. A few things you can do is add more water flow. So whether you add a second filter or a power head for some extra water flow, that's going to help a little bit. More regular water changes are going to help. Medias like polyfilter is going to help. But the other thing I'm a big fan of is change. So if you've had this tank running for a period of time and you've seen them, generally 1 year you love them, 1 year you like them, and then you've seen them, then think about swapping the fish out, totally changing the decorations, and that will keep you right interested in the tank again. I'm a big fan of change. So if these fish have had their day and you're not watching them as much as you used to, get them back to full health, then you can think about giving them to the aquarium and getting yourself some different fish, because change is king. Change your decorations, change your fish, reignite your interest. What you'll do is add some KH powder. Now this is something I want to add a little bit of, and I want to see that pH come up, and then I want to test it, then I want to add some more, then I want to test it, and I want to add some more. Now, with a water change, this should raise the pH alkaline, but this one here is more of a community one. It's okay for these fish, but usually I would use the general, which will give us a higher pH. So with a water change, everything should be fine, but I need to get this pH up now. But I want to do it slowly, little bit by little bit, not shock it up.